Hello and welcome to the AI Business Leadership Podcast, where we speak to business leaders about all things artificial intelligence. I'm your host, Laura Nelson, Head of Product at Solve by AI. And today's guest is Cristina Duta, Head of Intelligent Automation at AECOM. Hello, Cristina.
Hi, Laura. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you speaking with us today. So Cristina is the Director of Intelligent Automation at AECOM. She is an innovative leader with over 12 years of experience in software development and intelligent automation. She has an MSc and a PhD in computer science, and she's delivered major digital transformation projects across various industries. She is a thought leader and she's an advocate for fostering a digital mindset in the future of work. So today we're going to talk about Cristina's experience in leading AI initiatives, and we're going to focus on some of the do's and don'ts of AI implementation, and talk about gaining leadership buy-in and some of the challenges and opportunities of embarking on AI journeys in organizations. So we'll jump right in. So Cristina, based on your experience, what are some of the key do's and don'ts when it comes to implementing AI in organizations?
Thank you first for the kind introduction. It sounds so good when you say it out loud, So thank you for that. I do believe we are always going to look more at the don'ts than necessarily the do's when we talk about AI, but I think it's part of the journey. So let's walk through some of both. I'm going to start with the do's, so let's start on the positive side. Do start with a clear business objective. One of the biggest mistakes that organizations are actually making is diving into AI without a purpose. So AI, it's just a tool. It's not the end goal. So it doesn't come as one size fits all solutions. And what works for one company, it's not going to work for another one. So always anchor your AI initiatives to a clear, measurable business outcome. Another do that's critical is prioritize data quality. AI is only good as the data that it's trained on, and poor quality data will lead to poor results. So do invest from the start in cleaning and organizing your data. Otherwise, you're definitely going to set up yourself for disappointment and failure. And I do, another do maybe that I will put on my list is do start small, okay? And then scale, because trying to go right out of the gate, let's say big, can actually lead to overwhelming complexity and very slow results. So start with the projects where you can quickly show impact that build momentum. And do foster a culture of continuous learning, because AI is very fast. So your teams need to be updated constantly with the new developments. So encourage them to experiment and stay curious. And now let's go for some don'ts, because those are plenty. So first and foremost, don't let the fear of failure paralyze your efforts. AI, it's a learning process, and not everything will work perfectly from the first time. So treat all these failures as opportunities to iterate and improve. And don't rely solely, and I know it's a trend right now, on external consultants and vendors. They can be very helpful, and you always need them. But in order for you to be successful, you need to develop in-house AI expertise that will allow you to have long-term sustainability and to make decisions that actually truly align with your business. Don't ignore the human element. So AI is very powerful, but it works best when we actually combine it with the human insight, because people need to feel comfortable with AI, which means training, transparency, and inclusion at every step. Don't fall for the AI hype. Everybody's doing that. Every problem doesn't need an AI solution. Some traditional solutions are more effective, and overcomplicating things with AI can actually waste time and resources. And I'll only leave one don't, and that's it, because otherwise we're just going to have a session of don'ts. Don't expect success overnight. So AI, it's not the magic wand. It takes time to implement, test, and scale an AI solution. And it's very tempting for us to see immediate returns, but AI requires time to learn, to iterate, and to evolve, just like we humans need.
Definitely resonate with a lot of those don'ts there. We at Solve by AI, we are one of those external vendors that provide AI solutions and AI consultancy, and loads of those definitely make I definitely have experienced those, especially the what you said about making sure that you have in-house expertise as well, and in-house understanding of the solutions that you are pursuing, because without that, there's only so much that an external vendor can provide. You need to have that internal understanding of it as well. And so, what have you found have been the most common sort of pitfalls or issues that organisations have come across and should try and avoid when they're starting their AI journey?
I do believe one of the biggest pitfalls is putting technology ahead of strategy. Organizations often rush to adapt anything that's latest as AI tools without first identifying the real problems that they are trying to solve. And the result, it's a lot of activity with very little impact. It's very easy to get caught up in the context of cutting edge algorithms, but at the end of the day, the technology needs to drive value. And one other pitfall is related to the readiness of the data. Many companies assume their data is ready for AI just because it's stored somewhere and that's it, right? But AI requires structured, clean, and often labeled data to actually work effectively. So, underestimating the importance of data governance can actually derail projects extremely quickly. And there's also an issue that I keep on noticing related to underestimating the cultural change. AI is a disruptor, and we need to pay attention to this because it does require a mind shift, I would say a mindset shift across the organization. So you do need to ensure your people are ready for it. It's whether you're offering trainings, upskilling programs, or just fostering a culture of innovation. And probably last but not least, that comes to my mind is the fact that we tend to overpromise results. It hurts credibility. AI, it's just portrayed as a silver bullet. It's going to fix everything for us, but it does require time to show tangible results. So we need to reframe AI and put it as a long term investment. And while the potential is enormous, explain the fact that it takes time to get there. Because communicating this clearly is essential to avoid frustration.
And so, I guess on that note, then, what are some of your successful strategies that you've found that can be employed when we're making sure that AI initiatives do deliver those tangible business outcomes? Obviously, once it's had the time and the resource and the data and the culture to do so, what are some of those successful strategies you've found?
I think everybody will be happy to hear me say this first idea that comes to my mind, which is related to mapping AI initiatives directly to business KPIs. That should happen from day one. The most successful projects are those where the AI solution directly ties into something that leadership already cares about, like reducing churn, increasing revenue, improving customer satisfaction. The second strategy that I would probably go for, and I will reiterate about this, is start with pilot projects in areas where you can demonstrate value very quickly. So select a high visibility pilot project that tackles a very well understood low risk problem. That's key. And with that, you're going to build internal confidence, excitement. And once you have that, let's say, win under your belt, it's going to be very easy for you to scale. And another important factor is to involve end users very early into the process. We all know that AI models can be very powerful, but if the people that are actually using the solution on a day to day basis aren't on board or they do not understand how to leverage it, and you can see it right now spread across all of the social media, right, about the benefits, productivity, and all of it, we will struggle with adoption if the users are not there yet. So, getting their input feedback ensures that the AI solutions actually meet the needs of the end users.
And I suppose a lot of that then relates to how you go about getting buy-in from leadership, so relating to business KPIs and business strategy and thinking it through all the way to the point of the end users. And that leadership buy-in is obviously really successful, really crucial, for the success of AI projects. How do you recommend approaching leadership in an organization to get their support for an AI initiative?
If they are not already bought from everything that happens on the market with the AI hype, then we're playing that scenario where the leaders are not yet convinced. So, for first and foremost, for me, it would be speak in business terms that resonate with leadership. So, instead of focusing on technology itself, frame AI as a way to address strategic goals. Because if your CEO, CFO, CTO is focused on reducing costs, you need to explain how AI actually can optimize the operations to save the money. If growth is a priority for your organization, then you need to talk about how AI can enhance the customer experience to increase retention, acquisition, or anything else. So speak in business terms that resonate with leadership. Second, which I'm coming back to KPIs and value, build a compelling business case with clear data driven examples. Um, Highlight successful case studies from either your own industry or similar ones where AI had measurable impact. So I always like to go with tangible results. Like, for instance, this company reduced costs by 15% using this solution, or AI driven personalization boosted sales with X% for this particular organization, and so on and so forth. And I do believe it helps to address risks upfront. Executives are often risk adverse, especially with new technologies like AI. So be transparent about the potential challenges, whether it's data quality, security concerns, or upfront investment. Propose a plan to mitigate those risks. It will allow you to build trust and position yourself as a person who cares about the organizational goals.
No, so I was just going to say, are those some of the common challenges then that you face when you're trying to secure leadership buy-in? Then that those kind of struggling with understanding maybe the technology, struggling with relating it to business KPIs. What are some of those challenges you face when you've been trying to secure leadership buy-in?
Um, exactly what I've mentioned before, because it's all about skepticism around the AI real value. So they often hear these AI buzzwords but are wary of the hype. So it's very important for them to focus on real world success cases, right? So both from our industries or other industries, being able to show those tangible results. And it's also another part that we came across quite often as challenges is the fact that there is a fear of disruption, because AI is seen very disruptive. So they look at major changes at organization level. How is that going to show? And it's very important to always explain how AI is not going to replace necessarily humans. It's augmenting their capabilities, and how you can actually redefine the business lines, the services, the products that you're doing with the help of the technology. And another challenge that I believe it's on everyone's list is the fact that you have competing priorities. You need to split your budget. You need to decide what you're going to invest into. So AI can feel like an abstract, a long-term investment, especially when it's compared with immediate business needs. So that's why it's very important to align the projects that you have with AI with the urgent business challenges. Okay, so if we cannot do that, it's very difficult to afterwards decide which is the area that's going to have the highest priority.
And you've talked quite a lot about that hype that comes with AI, and if leaders maybe have overcome some of those challenges, or didn't really face those challenges, and there's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of believing the hype around AI, how would you advise leaders to balance that excitement alongside realistic expectations of AI implementation?
I would say it's all about human for sure, because AI, it is exciting and it's very easy to get swept up when you look at the potential and what it can actually do. Leaders are the people that need to be grounded with their excitement into reality. So being able to have a very, let's say, phased approach, like start small, don't go for big projects with AI first, manage projects that can deliver value quickly. So being able to gradually take one step forward. Another part related to the excitement is the fact that we need to educate organizations on the AI limitations. we tend to miss this part because while AI can do amazing things, again, it's not the magic wand. So it needs time to learn, to adjust, to improve, and not all of our problems and objectives can be solved with AI. So we need to always be transparent of the complexity that AI has to manage the expectations related to outcomes and to timelines for sure. And we also tend to be very positive. We have this positive attitude, so we celebrate only the wins. I would suggest be honest about the challenges. Whenever you communicate the progress of AI initiatives, and I do agree those keep excitement high and everything else, don't be afraid to share the failures and the disappointments as well, because this kind of transparency will allow you to temper over enthusiasm, right? It's going to set the real expectations for how a long term success is actually going to look like.
And so once a company has gotten over some of those initial challenges, has set out their business strategy and their KPI, the relevant KPI targets for that, it still can be quite a daunting thing to start out on an AI journey. So what advice do you have for companies that are just starting out with AI, especially in terms of choosing those right kind of projects that you talked about and building the right teams to implement them?
Um, we as humans are creatures of habit, so being paralyzed in the face of this is actually quite frequent. So I would say embrace curiosity first. So AI is an evolving field, and just like any technology, we are going to encourage a mindset of exploration within the organization. Okay, so experiment, pilot small projects, and learn as you go. Um, Reiterate, start small, and focus on value. You need to deliver clear, measurable results. So pick a project that would allow you to do that for a well defined business problem. Build a cross functional team. AI is not just for data scientists and engineers. You need a team that has business leaders, you need data analysts, domain experts that are actually understanding the problem you're trying to solve. Um, and I cannot reiterate on how important it is to invest in data infrastructure from the beginning, because it depends on data and it's crucial. Otherwise, if you don't embed it into your plan from day one, you're going to struggle along the way. And we miss one part. We never realize that AI talent is scarce. We don't have it right now in the market. So I would encourage upskill your current workforce. You have a lot of potential and of great talented people that can actually learn these type of technologies. So it's often better to train your existing employees than actually on hiring new ones. So offer training programs. Make sure you empower your teams to actually be able to drive this kind of AI culture across your organization.
And I suppose upskilling your existing employees, that brings with it the advantage of then those employees already have your business knowledge and knowledge of your technologies and your operations that you can bring to those AI projects with that upskilling in more of the AI data science field, right?
Correct. And it's all about domain knowledge. It sits with the business. It doesn't necessarily sit outside with consultants, vendors, or anyone else. Why not leverage on what you already have as a powerhouse?
Absolutely. So you talk about data and data infrastructure and about having the right team. And another thing that we mentioned earlier that is very, very important in the success of AI projects is having a clear vision and a strategy for AI. So what role does that play in the success of these kind of projects?
A clear vision is everything. I always say that an AI type of strategy without the vision is like you're driving your car without a map. You are going to be lost at a certain point. So you need to connect your AI strategy with your business strategy. So asking yourself, like, where do we want to go as a company from here onwards, and how can AI help us to actually get there? So you do need to have those tied up. And it also helps in terms of decisions and prioritization, because without it, you are actually going to be distracted by the every new shiny tool that comes out there on the market, right? So you won't align them with your core objectives. So it means that with the strategy, you can stay focused on what really matters for you as an organization. And also, a strong vision means you can manage the expectations. We often overlook this part because it does give everyone, leaders, employers, employees, stakeholders, a shared understanding of what success looks like and how long it will take us to get there, actually.
And in terms of putting all that into practice, then, what are some of the key qualities or key skills that you would look for in technology leadership or business leadership in order to help drive those AI initiatives successfully?
First of all, I would say diversity of thought is very useful, and you need to consider that. We tend to hire people that are very similar with us as leaders. So try to step outside of that mindset and think out, have a broader perspective when you're looking at people. I'm looking for three key qualities, I would put it like that, for people in this space. One is visionary thinking, because they need to see beyond the immediate project and understand how AI can actually shape the entire future of the business, not just a part. Strong communication skills for me are non negotiable because AI can be extremely complex and you need people that can break down technical details into digestible and actionable insights for all your non technical stakeholders. Adaptability is crucial too because AI is evolving extremely fast. So, leaders who are comfortable with uncertainty and are willing to pivot as a new technology emerges and challenges arise tend to excel in this domain. So, what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow, and that's okay. So, we need to embrace this type of evolution. And probably last but not least, that comes to my mind is the fact that at a certain point, we need to have a sense of ethical responsibility. AI leaders must understand the broader impact of AI on society and ensure that these projects, because there are a lot of opportunities, are designed with fairness, transparency, inclusivity, and accountability in mind.
And I guess so, as we said at the beginning, it sounds great as a leader in intelligent automation yourself. What is one piece of advice you'd give to aspiring leaders who want to excel in the field of AI?
First of all, be collaborative. AI is not a solo sport, so it does require inputs from a variety of perspectives. So always surround yourself with a diverse team and listen to them. Second on my list is the fact that focus on value. AI is a tool and that's it, not an end in itself. So, as a leader, you always need to tie your AI initiatives back to the real world impact. And at the end of the day, it's about making the life better for people. And probably the most important one, stay curious always, because AI is evolving and so should we. The big, I believe the best leaders are the ones who never stop learning, who are asking themselves, okay, what's next? How can we improve this? So keep on pushing those boundaries.
That sounds great. Well, speaking of what's next, so last question just to wrap us up. Could you share with us one prediction that you have for what artificial intelligence might be able to do for us in 10 years' time?
Oh, I don't think AI will be just smarter or faster. I think it will become more human in how it understands and interacts with us. I believe it will evolve from being just a tool we use to a partner we collaborate with. So I do imagine a world where they are going to actually bring the best out of us. So it's going to be able to, let's say, combat some of our biggest challenges when it comes to world's pressing issues, right? We're talking about combating climate change, improving education, reducing poverty. It's going to anticipate what we need. Think about healthcare. I'm looking at tailored medicine for our genetics, our climate conditions, or anything similar to that. So it's going to evolve as we evolve. And I do believe it's going to amplify our best qualities, which are curiosity, compassion, and ability to solve problems. And that is actually really exciting because I see AI as a mirror of our own capacity for growth.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Christina, for sharing your insights and your expertise. It's been really interesting to learn from some of your experience in leading AI initiatives and to talk through some of the nuances of successful AI leadership. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
That wraps up this episode of the AI Business Leadership Podcast. Stay tuned to our social channels for more insights from leading voices in AI and business innovation, and we'll see you next time.